Okay,
we'll do
I
guess should we just jump in?
Hello everybody, my name is Ilya. And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
And we love to give out awards.
We do love to give out awards, and we're a little late with these ones.
Yes, so PolyomiNovember has turned into Polyomino December.
PolyomiNovember plus a week into December.
Well, a couple weeks.
A couple weeks into December.
Cue the intro. Tyler, what happened to your finger?
I have something called millet finger. I busted a tendon in the top of my knuckle, so if I take this off, my finger actually hangs.
Just bends. Well, it doesn't hang, it bends a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't hang, but it's stuck basically like this.
And it doesn't hurt, which makes it funny.
It doesn't hurt, so it's pretty funny, but I have to wear this for 6 weeks.
Well, welcome to our awards video for Polyomino month.
Yes.
Now, the way this video is going to work is you have provided us a few categories of awards that you'd like us to give to the games of Polyomino genre. Plus, we've added a couple of our own.
Sprinkled in a bit of our own.
Or a few. A couple is always like a few to me. But in no
couple
means
is
two.
Always two.
I know, but in my head, I think when I learned English, a couple always means like 5 to 6.
A few is always 3 or more in my head.
What's after a few? Many?
Lots, many.
I feel like there has to be
I would say a few for like 3 to maybe even 6.
Okay, well we
3 to 5.
added a few categories to the awards as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to announce the award.
Yeah.
Then we're going to each give an award.
We have our notepads here. They've got... The silly thing is we put all the games in front of us, so we know that there are some overlaps, but we don't know if they're in the exact same categories, which will be interesting to see. But because there are so many polyominoes, we've put the ones that have won awards close to us.
That's a lot of polyominoes.
There is a lot of polyominoes.
Because there's a lot of awards. But we'll announce the game, we'll give them the award, we'll tell you why, and then we'll celebrate. We'll do maybe a little dance after each one.
Yeah.
And
then, of course, we've done reviews on all of these games, so if you are interested in learning a bit more about any of the games that we do mention, you can check out the links down below to see those videos that cover those games.
And lastly, we will be doing a giveaway with this video. It'll be at the end of this video. And we have extended each of the giveaways in the other videos to December 15th.
Yes.
So you still have an opportunity to go back, watch all those videos,
and enter
to win
games.
Exactly. So without further ado, let's jump right into the award ceremony. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we kick off?
It was a tough competition this year. Really, really down to the wire. And the games that won are well deserved.
Yes, they are. Well, here we go. Our very first award is Most Puzzley.
Have I been holding on to the game that has won this award on my lap since the start of this recording? Abso-frickin-lutely.
Let's see it.
Mine goes to Rebuilding Seattle.
Ooh.
Now, the reason I'm putting this one at the most puzzly is actually because of it doesn't really have to do anything with the polyomino aspect of the game. It has to do with deciding to flip the events. So that's one puzzly thing that you've got to try and manage. And then also the give and take of those tracks, because you do have to balance them and get them over a certain point, like past your population, so that you can actually score for them and then generate yourself income. So I think that that's like a very tight puzzly race that you need to figure out while you're playing this game. That's it.
That's a great one.
Rebuilding Seattle.
I'll take that.
Yours is not Rebuilding Seattle?
Mine is not. The one that won most puzzly for me is My City.
Okay.
So the reason this one won is because there is various chapters and episodes, but each of the games you're trying to fit the polyominoes in the best way possible.
Yeah.
So it really fits that whole puzzle theme. And the fact that it changes game to game and there's a new condition that's added game to game because it's a legacy game makes it trickier and makes it quite puzzly, making this the most puzzly for me.
I like that because it's like the sequencing of how the polyominoes come up, and then that determines how you have to play them.
Exactly.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Choice. Up next, we have the most unusual shapes.
So the one that I chose is Race to the Raft.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, the polyominoes in this are the fire that burns around the island. And at first you think, well, it's not going to be that bad. But some of the shapes you draw are wild.
Are wild.
They're so long and they cover
so
so much space. And like I feel like it's always unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's going to be this nice little staircase, but all of a sudden it's like ding, 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 ding,
Yeah,
ding.
and then it doesn't fit how you want. This is a good... I don't even think this one crossed my mind when I was
For the most unusual shapes?
No.
Well, it won the award for me. So congratulations, Race to the Raft, for the most unusual polyomino shapes.
I like it. All right. Mine for the most unusual shapes. Now, don't at me for this because it feels like it should be not the winner of this because of how obvious the shapes are, but I went with number 9. And yes, the shapes are in the shape of the numbers that you're going to be grabbing, but for some reason, whenever I'm playing this game, it's always like I have this weird gap, or I have this like spread of empty spaces that no longer are useful for me that I can't place the next shape into, and it can kind of get really, really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I selected number 9, and also I think a couple of the shapes are a little bit of a stretch when it comes to like fitting in the number, and that's like another reason behind my choice for the most unusual shapes.
Everyone's gonna come at you. At Tyler.
Number 9 for the most unusual shapes.
Nice. Now the next category we have is our favorite polyomino piece. So it has to be a specific polyomino, and where is it from?
I think I missed the cue on this. Alright, bear with me, because again, this might be a stretch because it doesn't have anything to do with polyominoes, it just has to do with the game itself. And that is the Grand Carnival.
Ooh, okay.
So, okay, not only does it have a bunch of different shapes for like the numbers that you're going to be picking from, because like the 5 piece is like many different shapes, so I thought that was very cool, but it has this thing, or this meeple called the collar, and I think that is such a cool piece in this game that just like, I don't know, it's just randomly there. Or it's not randomly there because it fits so well with the theme. It's not a polyomino piece, so I messed up. But I love the idea of just like, oh, you've made people cross this line, now put a collar out to get them to come to your game so they can move faster. And I just thought that was so very clever. And now I'm realizing I should have picked a game with specifically a polyomino shape.
The award was the best polyomino.
Oh, I just have favorite piece written
Favorite
down.
polyomino piece.
It's my favorite polyomino piece. It's my favorite piece in the polyomino games. I'm sorry. It has to go to this.
Addendum to.
And that is the Grand Carnival. Oh, jeez.
Okay, the favorite polyomino piece award for me is rebuilding Seattle. I wonder if it was crooked the first time around.
It probably was.
It might have been.
Okay,
I'll find the piece while I explain.
So should I have pulled out the collar?
Well, no, it's fine. In rebuilding Seattle, you have these little landmark pieces that show you the various things in Seattle.
And I have a specific one I really like. It is a very specific one. Well, that was where is it? Oh no, I can't find it. Fast forward. Hello.
Is it the airplane?
No, it's the Space Needle.
Space Needle.
It is the Space Needle.
Space Needle.
That's it. That's my favorite piece.
I like it.
So thank you, Rebuilding Seattle, for granting.
Are we a mess? Maybe. That
was probably the most chaotic award category of my life.
Next up, we have the Cutest Polyomino Game.
Now, this wasn't initially Cutest Animals, but we decided to broaden it a little bit to encompass all the cuteness.
Yes.
Now, for my pick, I chose...
Oh, the big one. I love cats.
I love cats.
Yay.
Yay. What else can I say? There's cats that are different colors, that are very cute in different positions, laying across the boats, just trying to get off the island. And then the fishies, like everything in this game is just wonderful.
The flying fish.
You love to see it. And with the expansion content, with the expansion content, there's kittens. There's various really cool sea creatures. There's a lot to love. And in general, this is a very cute game.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I like cats.
We could have just stuck with the animal thing because mine is also animal related. It's Llama Land!
Cute.
Llamas! Need I say more?
No.
I think they're just like the most adorable things. And they've just done a good job of like, look at the, look at the side here. They've just done a really good job at like capturing what a llama should be. I've heard that sometimes they can't be they might not be the friendliest, but doesn't matter because they're adorable in here, and the llama meeples are so cute.
Leeples.
So yeah, that's what my winner is. Llama Land.
I like it. The next category we have is easiest to teach.
Easiest to teach.
Go first.
So I kind of just thought that, well, no, this is the easiest to teach in my head.
Is it?
Yeah, junk drawer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think because this game is like simultaneous play, that it's like very easy to like get to the table. Mm-hmm. Everybody has the same pieces, and then it's just like a matter of flipping cards and then placing those pieces into the specific drawers. So even just that, now you can play the game, kind of thing. So that's why I give junk drawer the easiest to teach.
Now mine is number 9.
Oh, hello.
It's back. Honestly, for the same reasons. It's simultaneous play, one card is flipped, everybody's going at the same time. The scoring is fairly easy to explain, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky because the first layer is 0. So I can see you picking junk drawer as well.
Yes.
I feel like they're pretty even, but both plenty of fun.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Next up on our list, we have the most affordable.
I think for me, it is going to be silver and gold.
Repeat. Bow, 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 bow. Mine is also
well?
silver and gold.
So our collective won. There is so much game in this, and it's such a joy to play. Mm-hmm. It's a small little box. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And
it's quite affordable.
Yeah, I think it is legitimately the most affordable, but I think it's like, when I thought about this, it was like the best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And I think silver and gold does exactly that. It's also very small, so yeah, it's like great.
It's a little small one.
Yeah.
Silver and gold, baby. Now the next category we have is the most punishing.
The most punishing.
And what we mean by punishing is a game where the decisions you make can bite you in the butt. Mm-hmm. Because maybe that you ruined your own strategy, maybe you ruined something for somebody else, and then they start coming for you. But it's a game that's just not...
Yeah.
You really have to be strategic and make the right decisions, or else you might not have a good time.
Yeah, and of course, when we say, like, it ruins your game or ruins somebody else's game, it's, like, unintentionally doing that. Because there is, like, some games that are very that, like, force that agenda. But particularly in the game that I selected for the winner of this, I think it's very much, like... If you don't make the right decision, then it's really going to bite you in the butt.
Exactly. I feel like we may have the same game for this one. 3, 2, 1.
Small City. Yep, it's right here. Small City.
Albin just makes games that you just have to think really hard in order to do really well. And this is one of them.
Yes. It is a tight resource management game where like you end up right off the bat needing to make like very key decisions to help the rest of your game kind of just flow right. Mm-hmm. But once you get through like the couple of rounds, I think it gets a lot easier. It's just punishing right off the bat, and you need to be first of all okay with it being punishing, because sometimes like that's what you need to be able to do, but other times you just need to be like, okay, it's happened, I can move past this and get through it because I just have to accept my fate, kind of thing.
This is a game where you're going to say, oh no, I shouldn't have done that, multiple times.
Yes, yeah. It's also heavy strategy, so that doesn't help either. Anyways, Small City.
Small City.
So the last one up in our most categories is the most travel friendly.
I chose Polyomino Pocket.
Oh, of course you did.
Now this is a solo game with not endless, over 500.
There's a lot of puzzles.
Over 500 puzzles that you can solve with various pieces. And it comes in this beautiful little box. It's very travel friendly and it's very crunchy to the brain.
Yeah, and it's got like a drawer that holds all the pieces, which is very convenient.
Convenient pocket edition.
Yeah. I think maybe I should have picked this one, but it was a veer away from like, it was just so obvious because it was like a pocket edition.
Sometimes awards are obvious.
But I picked a double up. So it's won 2 awards in my book.
Wow.
Silver and gold. I just think that this game is like so compact, but it packs such a good game that you can't go wrong with having it in your backpack. It does really take up a very small amount of space, and for what it's worth and the amount of game you get out of it, I think it's fantastic. So yeah, silver and gold.
We're now into our best categories. We'll start off with player count. The best game that plays at 2. The best plays at 2.
The best game at 2.
At 2.
Best at 2.
Best 2-player polyomino game.
Yeah. I'm gonna give 2 here. It's kind of a cop-out. But it's because one of them I'm gonna mention is legitimately just a 2-player game, and I think people should just play it. I think it's fantastic.
Yep.
And that is Paris, La Cité de la Lumière. That is how I would say it. Maybe it's wrong. Anyways, it's a 2-player head-to-head game where you really are just like battling against each other. I think it's a fantastic, strictly 2-player game, but I can't just give a 2-player game the best at 2 because it only plays at 2. So the other game that I've included in my award for this is actually Whistle Mountain.
Oh.
I think this game could and is a lot of fun at a higher player count, but I think like it's really fun to build up your like dam and your structures just like the give and take of 2 players. I thought that was a lot of fun. I thought there was still a lot of like interaction between one another, but there was enough like freedom to still be able to do your own thing. And the race was tight, the points were close, and it just felt really good. The issue that I have with it being at a higher player count is the length of the game. It just gets a little too long for me. So at 2-player, it just felt really, really good.
Best at 2?
Yeah, so there you go.
Now, I did not choose 2 games, and I went for the obvious choice. And that is Patchwork.
It is a great...
I think when I think polyomino games, I immediately think of Patchwork. And Patchwork is such a fun 2-player game that it just... What else?
Why not?
Why not? What else could it be? It's a joy to play. It's a nice little tug and pull. It's cozy. It's fun. And there's many different versions of the game as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So I chose Patchwork.
Good choice.
Good choice.
While leaning into player count, we're going to obviously go from best at 2 to best at 4+.
Like a higher player count.
Yeah, so best at a higher player count. Now some of these games are like, some of the games obviously are like, they need to have more than 2 players, but it wasn't a restriction that they had to play at more than 2.
So this one was pretty tough for me because I find a lot of polyomino games play really well at a higher player count.
I agree.
So I think in this one there was like 5 games that were contending for this spot. But at the end of it, I chose Kodama Forest.
Cute.
I think because it's simultaneous play, because you're working together with people adjacent to each of your sides, it's such a fun multiplayer game. Because some games do play really well at that higher player count, but you're still playing your own game. Where here you're playing almost a collective game with with the 2 people you're sitting next to.
Yeah.
So there's a social factor. It's really fun. It plays fairly quickly, and yeah, it's my pick for a higher player count.
Good choice. I really like this game. My choice also involves simultaneous play, and we're just gonna move these. It is Planet Unknown.
It's a good pick.
Yeah, so this one's a little bit more heavier than Kodama Forest, but at the same time, it is this simultaneous play where one individual will pick the space that they want to take from, and then based on where everybody else is on the board or on the Lazy Susan, they have to grab those pieces and place them onto their board. It's this very like puzzly game where you are essentially terraforming another planet and trying to make all your pieces fit nicely while activating a bunch of different tracks so you can move up on them. But it is fantastic at a higher player count because it doesn't necessarily slow the game down. And then with the introduction of like the goals that you have, that you're really are just competing against like the person to your right on one and then the person to your left on another, I think is very, very fun. It adds a little bit of a twist and then like a bit more competition between the people that are next to you versus the people that are like opposite table of you.
True.
Yeah.
Good
And that's
choice.
it. Planet Unknown.
This was one of the 5 that I was contending with.
Oh.
Now, the next up we have Best Replayability.
Best replayability.
This one was very hard.
I think a lot of these are really replayable, but the one game I landed on was New York Zoo. I think this game, it's, first of all, I want to say that it is very similar to Patchwork, but it's for a higher player count, and I think that's really fantastic. But what I really like about this game, and I think it wins the replayability thing for me, is that because it's a race, and because of like the different animals that you can get on your board, that it always feels a little bit different, but not too different that it like pushes your brain in a different way. So for that reason, I picked New York Zoo as the most replayable.
I picked Tipperary.
Tipperary!
I found this one really hard to choose because I do think a lot of these games I like coming back to. But this one I chose specifically for that spinning rondelle choice because it creates that almost like variety of like you never quite know what's going to happen. And I love when you're able to adapt in the moment to games to what's happening, and this game does that every single turn. So because of that, I chose this, and there's so many ways to score points and strategies you can use too. It also has a great table presence. I'm a really big fan of this game.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Alright, next up we have the best roll and write integration.
Or flip and write.
Or flip and write, whatever you want to call it. But that is that.
So for my pick, I chose...
This
I
one?
don't see it. Yep.
I think we have a repeat. This is mine as well.
My City Roll and Builds. This is both of ours. The reason I chose it is, boy oh boy, the dice being a polyominoes, so clever. The replayability of just a whole different factors. It's really the polyomino game of roll and writes. Although it was really, really close second was Cartographers for me.
Cartographers was very, very close for me.
It was really hard to decide between the two, but I think I've just been loving this one so much recently, and I'm just so in awe of the dice mechanic with making polyominoes. My city takes it.
Yeah, I think Cartographers was really close to for me because, but it like just lost out to My City Roll and Build because I had something to compare My City Roll and Build to, whereas Cartographers doesn't have like a strictly just polyomino version of the game. I think My City, although very similar to, I guess the roll and build is very similar to My City, but it's also so different because of the dice. And I think that adds actually, I think it elevates the game for me a little bit more, but compacts it into this like smaller box. And I think that's an amazing integration piece that just like combines two of our like favorite, I would say, mechanics when it comes to this kind of stuff into like one beautiful game.
Can't recommend this game enough too. For the low price point too, you get so much game. Would definitely recommend picking this up if you have the opportunity.
Yeah. There you go. My City Roll and Build.
Now we have 2 awards left to give.
2 awards left.
The first one is Best Strategy, which is quite broad.
It is pretty broad, yeah.
But, you know, we'll explain it as we announce the winners.
Oh, okay.
Who do you got?
Oh, me first. I think it's behind me.
Is it Feast for Odin?
A Feast for Odin.
A feast.
All right. Yeah, so this one seemed pretty obvious to me. I think A Feast for Odin is quite the strategic game. You've got that worker placement element where you've got to like adapt to the board that you're playing on. If you get to go first, like it seems really valuable to go, I think, whale hunting it is. But there's just like a lot of value in playing the game in a strategic way. I think A Feast for Odin does that really well. I'm not like 100% attached to the theme of it, but I think once you get playing, I get more involved in the strategy of the game than the actual theme of the game. And then when you go to add like the negative points, because you really just want to fill your board up, you also have to like be willing to take a risk of like traveling to another place so that you can like almost build an engine up to cover your negative points later on in the game. And I think that's really, really, really cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. A Feast for Odin.
So Feast for Odin was a close second of mine actually for this category. But the one that won it for me is...
also up on our shelf,
The Magnificent. Now the reason I chose this one for strategy is because every turn matters so much, but not in a punishing way, I found. Yeah. Like you can still make do and have a lot of various things as strategy of what you can do, so it feels good every turn, but it feels extra good when you make things work the way that you need them to work, or the stars align and you have that perfect turn. And this game is full of those. Again, for me, similar in this one where I'm wasn't super attached to the theme. I think it was there. I was really focused on the strategy the whole time though, and trying to figure out the best way of how I can utilize my actions and what I can do with this game. A lot of fun, very deserving of best strategy in my opinion.
Yeah, great game. And that leads us to our last category for this awards, the best theme.
I think mine's right behind you again.
Wow. Oh yeah, this one.
It is the Wild Tiled West. Now, in general, a lot of these games actually have a fairly good theme, and I do feel connected to the theme here and there. But what absolutely won this one over for me, not huge into the Wild West. Yeah. Wild West is definitely not a theme I gravitate towards, not at all. But I think the animals made this one tolerable. But the thing that absolutely won the best theme for this game, the thing that won the best theme in this game for me is the bullets turning into tombstones.
Yeah.
I think that is whoever came up with that, genius. Because it's so funny too, of like you go bang bang, and then the bullets fly, and then they're a tombstone.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they just flip up and it's a tombstone.
And it feels so thematic, like the gold collection, everything you're doing, you're trying to populate different cities. Like in this game, I definitely thought more about the theme than the strategy, which is maybe why I lost, but I had a lot of fun.
There you go. Wild Tiled West. Well, my game with the best theme is actually In the Hall of the Mountain King. So basically the theme, I don't know why it particularly stood out to me, but I just thought it was very neat that there was this whole like story about this war that had gone on like long time ago, and now we're all like trying to get to the middle to like really fight for the crown. And I thought like the way that all worked out, and then the pedestals, how you've got to like basically feels like you're resurrecting them, but you're just building them. I think that was very, very cool. And just like, yeah, the layers of moving inwards, like it's more difficult as you go in, but it's also more rewarding. There's a bunch of these small little pieces that just like worked for me, as well as just that like pyramid cascade of getting your resources. I thought that was very neat because like basically the more workers you have, the more resources you're able to generate, and they've kind of like motivate the people below you. And yeah, anyways, I thought that was a very, very, very cool integration to this game, and it made for a very fun theme.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of Polyomino's games are not very fantasy themed. A lot of them are very like practical.
That's true. Maybe that's what it was.
And I think this one does really stand out in that because it feels really different than a lot of the rest.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. It was so different that it stood out. But it really did stand out, obviously, because I'm giving it the Best Theme Award.
Best Theme. And that is...
In the Hall of the Mountain
King. So that have been our awards for Polyomino games.
Yes.
Now, we still have one more video that is to come. And that is...
Top 10.
The best Polyomino games of all time.
For us.
for us.
Yes.
But all time for us and all time.
Yeah. That.
Now, along with that video, we actually will be releasing a full ranking of all of our games on our Patreon page. So if you're not yet a Patreon member, consider subscribing and supporting us by clicking the link down below.
Yes.
Now, for the last part of this video, we did say we would be doing a giveaway.
We are doing a couple giveaways.
We're doing a few giveaways this video. A few. I knew it. I learned it.
Oh yeah, we are doing.
So the games that we are giving away, thanks to our lovely publishers who have offered to give these away to you, are Isle of Cats,
Yes.
Race the Raft,
It's the raft.
and In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Yes.
So those are the 3 games that we're giving away. Are we going to show them?
Race of the raft is over there. Oh yeah.
This.
Grab it.
And then...
Alright, so they're all separate giveaways, so no matter what, or if you enter to win down in the description below, then you'll be eligible to win one of the 3 games.
If you really don't want one of them, let that be known in the comment. Because then we will, when we do the draw, the random draw, we can make sure we can choose for you, basically, in that initial draw. Yep. But the way to enter our giveaway is, again, a riddle or a question or something that you need to do by looking at the screen above. What is it this time?
What is it?
Are you counting Tyler's nose hairs?
Oh. What is it? What could it be?
That'd be funny. It's just a picture of your nose and they have to count your nose hairs.
I would not like that.
You would not consent to that?
I would not, no.
No, it's going to be a board game related one. You've already seen it. You probably have already typed the answer by now. But now it's gone. We're back to us. Thank you so much for watching this lovely video.
Yes. And thank you for bearing with us as we get through what was just supposed to be PolyomiNovember, extended just slightly.
Well, you know, it was so much fun that we had to extend it a little bit.
We did.
We're still doing a few more photos on our Instagram account, so make sure to follow those. Maybe comment on the ones that you like the best. And you already know all the games that we've covered now, because we've done a part 1, part 2, roll and writes in 3D. So if there's any Polyomino games we have not covered, let us know in the comments down below, because we will be, like our 2-player months and roll and write months, doing flashbacks to this month.
Yeah.
And talking about potential upcoming Polyomino games.
Exactly, yeah. And then, of course, you can kind of expect us to come back and do exactly what Ilya did and said, and then maybe even, depending on how many games we find in the time span, we'll be renewing our top 10s because we've been exposed to more and more games.
That's definitely coming up for a roll and write month because we've almost played
100
roll and writes.
Can you imagine?
I think we're at 93.
93. We're so close.
So close. Yes. But that's another video and another time. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye!